Warning.
You are now tuned in to 7 Mile Radio.
Production.
7 Mile Radio.
Hello, everybody. It's Tanisha and Champ and Osaranga, and we here from Tapped In Podcast. And tonight we're going to talk about building a healthy chakra system. And the chakra system is a system that was discovered in probably about 1800 BC in the Veda, books of Veda, text of Veda, which is an Indian text. And it details the 7 areas, the 7 energy centers in the body. They're described as wheels that spin and create energy in the body. And each chakra is influence or affects a certain aspect of life and of your life. And we're going to dive in deep
Somebody's
tonight
phone is up still, I hear it.
and discuss. Let's just check our phones.
It's good.
We're going to dive in deep, and we're going to discuss what each chakra system is, the blockages that you may have that avoids this chakra system from working successfully and efficiently, and how we can balance your chakra system, or each individual chakra that may be unbalanced. And so at this time, I'm going to turn the mic over to Champ and let him have an introduction for the evening. How you doing tonight, Champ?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good. Well, I work today, so, but I'm still good.
Well, I've known about chakra for a minute, but I actually got into chakra a few years ago down in Atlanta at 5 Points, and had a great, excellent chakra store. When I started learning, I bought me some books and started learning about it. So I started wearing it, and I started seeing the actual effects of it. You know, the rocks that I had purchased, I can't pronounce the stones, so bear with me. But it was a green one, a blue one, several others. I got the candles. I actually got a shower head that got chakra rocks in it. You know, and actually seeing the effects of prosperity, relationships, energy, certain things I was dealing with myself, and actually working on, and actually influenced me working on myself, knowing what these rocks is doing, and is actually seeing it come true without actually thinking about it. It's like, wow, when I first started wearing it and thinking about it, how would it affect, and then later on, it was like I started seeing success and progress, and it was like, this is my lane.
All right now, and crystals is a something that crystals and stones is a good tool for balancing chakras. And now we're going to hear from Osa and her introduction for the evening.
Okay, well, peace and love. I'm
Peace
Osa.
and love,
Let's see. I was first introduced to chakras probably around the beginning of my journey, which was about 2014. I learned about the significance of what each chakra meant. Did some healing. With it, start picking up stones as well that resonated with each chakra. And it really, changed my life. So yeah, it's definitely very vital and key to learn about your chakra, your energetic centers, so that you can know, about your energy, have self-awareness of your energy, but also the energy that you put out. Because of course, energy is felt. So,
Yeah, for me, I think my experience and my introduction to chakras was probably more of was breed out of necessity. I was in a place in my life where I was just in like a lot of pain and stress and grief. I was actually being separated from my husband, and so it was really came out of necessity because I was just searching for some relief from all the emotions I was experiencing, and so that led me to the chakra system, and working on that has really helped me just build myself because I guess at this point we get into the chakra system, and I know the first chakra is the root chakra, and so coming from one life to another, The root chakra is pretty much your your home, safety, that type of thing. So, of course, that's one of the primary things I had to be concerned about at that point, was supporting myself and making sure that I could provide for myself, and that's the root chakra. So it definitely started at the root chakra for me, and I've just continuously worked up. And so I want to hear Osa speak on the root chakra, and then we're going to go through all seven. There's 7 of them. Hopefully we get through all of them, because we're going to talk about the chakra and what it controls, and what blockages there may be, and some remedies for those blockages.
Okay. So like she said, the first chakra you will start with is the root chakra, or it's also known as the base chakra. That's located at the base of your spine. The root chakra deals with connecting you to the earth. So this helps you to ground. It also deals with your security, and it deals with your money, your finances. So it's associated with the color red, and I wore red intentionally because I am working with my root chakra again. Now that I am a new mother of a 5-month-old, so I'm starting from the ground up, regrounding myself, finding that security, that balance. So ways to, connect, definitely through meditation. You can meditate and just envision the color red. A lot of times when you sit in meditation, you may see colors. These colors are associated with each chakra center. So most people don't know when they just, see colors, these are associated with something, like spirit is trying to signal something for you, energetically, for you to focus on. So,
and speaking in terms of the root chakra, one of the biggest blockages and one of the things that I know I was experiencing at the time was just pure fear, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, you enter in a new life, you start something new, you from the ground up, and you are, you essentially terrified. And that fear blocks that root chakra, that fear of the unknown, fear of failure, all types of fears will block that root chakra. Is the types of things that will hinder you from abundance and security in your life.
Absolutely.
You think those chakra rocks help you overcome those fears?
Yes, I think crystals are a very good tool for chakra work, as well as like meditation in color, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, when we talk about meditation, it's not something that's it's just simple as laying in the bed with the TV off with your eyes closed. Mm-hmm. It's just, and it doesn't have to be forever or a long period of time. Just take a breather. It's sometimes when I'm just go in my room and I'm like, I don't want no TV on, no lights on. I just need a breather. Mm-hmm. And those are little periods of time where you can do that work. Close your eyes and envision the color red and think about maybe overcoming some fears you may have. That's a time where you can get in touch with yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's funny you say that. Like, you know how you go to sleep or you meditate, you'll have your eyes closed, and then you'll see waves of colors, stars, and stuff like that. So when you mentioned about colors, like, that actually makes sense. Like, you're in complete darkness with your eyelids closed, but you'll actually start seeing stuff like waves and patterns, and they come in colors or like.
Have you
stars.
ever ate mushrooms before?
No.
You know already where I'm going with it.
Yeah.
Like that is the reason why, like, the visuals, man, is I ain't gonna cut the conversation, but
no,
it's like,
you going on the right page.
because that's it. Kind of is, they say that psychedelics is more so a spiritual thing than what's like a drug, as they call it, or a recreational drug. Mm-hmm. So yeah, and it's like that is part of the experience with mushrooms. Is when you close your eyes, you have intense 3D visuals, right? Like what you see, like what you're talking about, times probably 100.
Right. It's like when I've seen like history programs, like them small tribes in other countries actually use mushrooms and other plants from the ground to do this psychedelic ritual. We're looking at it from a recreational standpoint, where it's more of a ritual thing, how they get in touch with themselves, with the earth, their spirits, and whatnot. Yep. So it's like, it's a whole ritual the whole day. So it was like the journalist that was actually going into their tribe, into their community, and actually doing the ritual with them, it's like it was blowing his wig back. He was just like, man, it was hard to grab, but understand, these people have been doing it all their life, so they're able to handle this experience. And they're speaking like, this is how I get in tune with the earth. This is how I get tuned with my spiritual self. So when you speak on the rocks coming from the earth, everything goes hand in hand. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like we was put on this earth, and we was put on this earth to use this earth. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And we use this earth to build ourselves. You know, not our selfish thinking. It's like, well, I just want to use it for this. I want to use it for this. No, it's designed for the earth for us to use it in many layers. You know, if you just want to use it on this side, understand you're not going to get the full effect if you're not using the earth on this side. You know what I'm saying? If this stone is to ground you, right? But now you want to use this stone for prosperity and for wealth. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to go as planned.
Right.
You know, because you're not
You'll
grounded.
go out of control.
And-
You're going to
you
go
know,
out of
and that-
control.
and-
Everything has to have a balance.
And that's that's one of the things. I know we're gonna go in sequential order, and we're talking about the chakras. But that's one of the things I was hoping we may even can touch on is, can you work on one before working on another? Right? Can you be super spiritual if your heart chakra is not open, or can you jump a chakra and work on one, and or be good here but not be good there? And that's probably something that hopefully we get to talk about that in a real way, because there's some people that seem like they have it together in one way, but they seem like they miss something. Like they got it together in this way, but they don't have it together in that way.
I mean, it's always constant work. So
Yeah. It's change is a process. It's not an event. So whereas you're in a process over here with yourself, relationships with other people. You have to identify yourself as this person is dealing with narcissism. This person is dealing with, I'm an introvert and whatnot. So now I have to focus on other areas of my life that's going to complement me to use those tools to correct this part. So if you're just looking at for this instance to be an event and no, this other part is a process, it's not going to work. Understand everything is a process and it's a balancing act. You know what I'm saying? Not so much say an act, but it's a balancing process that in this one area when I'm at work, I have to learn how to sit there and voice myself and not worry about people's feelings getting involved, because I'm here for a goal is to sit there and work, make my money, and go home. Then if I'm dealing with family, I do have to be considerate of their feelings. You know what I'm saying? Because of the network that we have as a family, that I do have to be considerate of your feelings, because you're going to be leaning on me. My coworkers not going to lean on me. They're going to lean on me for the cause of work and getting this job done. You know what I'm saying?
And it's almost like some different relationships require a different chakra to be balanced, right? Because at work, that's root chakra activity. We talking about family, you talking about the second chakra, the sacral chakra, that that dictates intimacy and your ability to be intimate, and with friends and family and intimate settings and stuff like that. And so that gets into at once you then settles your root chakra, I like to think of it as finances, but it's just security. Once you feel secure, at that point you can elevate to, okay, I feel secure now. I can care about others. Others in my family, others that are close to me. And if you have a blockage in that is shame. If you have a lot of shame and guilt in your spirit, so to speak, that's gonna block your ability to be close to other people. And that's the sacral chakra. And what color is that?
that's associated with orange.
That's associated with orange. You want to speak on that?
Sure. So the sacral chakra is located right at your navel. Again, it's associated with orange. It deals with your inner child, your sexuality, and your courage, and creativity. So this is your creative center. This is where you birth things from. This is also the womb space for the women. Yeah, it is blocked by shame, though. It's blocked by repressing your sexuality and not being fully yourself. It is blocked by childhood wounds and holding on to them and not allowing yourself to properly feel or to fully express yourself. So it's all about creative expression.
So like when you speak about like sexuality and expressing yourself in shame, is whereas a lot of stuff is doctrine in our head. So we go back in history and you look at artworks in the museums and how they express themselves in the artwork, they was more free about their sexuality. If you go back to Egyptian Ethiopia, where women walked around barely with any clothes on, you know what I'm saying? So sexuality wasn't a taboo back then, you know what I'm saying? We did it for the means to populate the earth, this and that, but then we also did it for recreational, depending on what part of the earth that you was in.
And when
different
the white man monetized it, now it's a problem.
Right, and even in their culture, when you sit there and see their art depiction of of sexuality. Now we go back to the beginning of time, where this crystal goes back to the beginning of time. We didn't use those prevalent then as we do, are we starting to do now, as far as our community. If you go to the Asians, if you go to the Hindu Indians, they was continuously using these stones, why they're so grounded and so humble, because they use these stones to keep themselves at one with the earth and with their, with their community. So you sit to see why their community prosper, because they use everything hand in hand. One didn't outweigh the other. We know that we have to use this stone for this. We have to use this stone for this. We have to use this stone for this. And we have to apply it. Yeah. Not to sit there and be like, oh, I got the stone in my hand, it's automatically going to happen. No, we have to use what, was taught by our elders. This is what it represents, and you have to use your strengths.
And something, thinking of this question I had in terms of, can you have one chakra working if all of them are not balanced? Out of balance chakra system, you can meet a person with the out of balance chakra system that's like over sexualized. It's like all they think about is sex. That's like their sacral chakra just working. They don't have no shame to sex, but they don't have a place to stay. They don't have a car to drive. I mean, so they ain't not worried about no security, but they available for sex. That's the person with an overactive, sacral chakra.
You can use that X like that, and she thought it was cool.
But you can use that in the tool if you're around the right people, because you could be, with a very high sex drive, right? And where this person financially and what else? Respected around their friends, they have strengths in that. So y'all got the comment that y'all both got high sexual drives, but outside the sex, this person can balance you. Hey, let me bring you around my friends that we can speak on other subjects and this and that. So then you start growing. It's like, yeah, we have this in common. But I got strengths in here where this is your weakness, where my strengths can make your weakness strengths, and vice versa.
That is a very good point. He said, I got to have it leaning that way. That is a very good point. But I would be, for me, I'm careful not to depend on another person.
Oh, no, not dependent.
This
is assistance.
But
use a better word for assistance.
As a reflection.
Yeah, use that as assistance. Like, I'm not going to be like, oh, you're strong with numbers, and I'm going to put all my eggs in a basket dealing with you with numbers.
When it comes to numbers, I don't even mention it.
I just use that as an example. It's like, my weakness might be in numbers, and I'm not just going to weigh on you. I'm really coming to you to build me, to make me stronger in numbers. I'm not relying on you.
Yeah.
If anytime I come to a person for help, it's not for me to
when you're in a relationship with someone, the good things about you should sharpen the partner. It's not like they're coming to you with the intentions on you building me up or depending on them, but just you being around them. You know what I mean?
And our community is
sharpen you up.
I'm enlightened. I'm enlightened by that small discussion, because that is true. Because if you have somebody that might have a high sex drive, and then you have somebody that's sexually shy, that could be helpful for that person to explore and build confidence in that area.
But once you introduce them about the chakras and the meanings, that gonna give them confidence. Is now I'm doing soul searching. Now I feel it. Now around these collective people, I feel it's acceptable. So now I can express myself. Versus I be in other areas now. Oh, it's taboo. We more conservative about it. And more ashamed about it.
Shame in it.
So now using, because like when I get the chakra rock, and then when I start seeing other people that's influenced by it, then I gravitate towards them. You know what I'm saying? Because now we're on a common page. Like we can discuss it. You know what I'm saying? Where you can actually teach me something. Where I can speak on what I experienced with it and teach you something. Then you can tell me about what you experienced and teach me something. So like, when they talk about marriage, a better half. That's the meaning of a better half. But we can also have that with our family and with our friends. You know what I'm saying? Have collective friends that we actually strengthen each other.
And I think, this conversation is really having a good flow, because we just kind of flowed into the solar plexus, right? And what they represent, which is, your ability to have self-confidence and to set boundaries, right? So from the sacral chakra, we go to the solar plexus. And I think that's like at your rib cage, I believe. And again, that kind of rules over your ability, your posture somewhat, because a person of low self-confidence usually don't have a good posture. It deals with that confidence and that ability to create and build boundaries for yourself. And so from that sacral chakra, we go to the solar plexus, and we'll hear from Osa on that as well.
Okay, well, the solar plexus, real word in it is solar, which deal with sun. Okay, so this is your source energy. This is your willpower. This is your confidence. Again, your courage. Again, represented right at your rib cage. The way that this is blocked is, of course, if you, feel insecure, if you don't have as much energy, if you, don't feel confident. Also, fear, because fear is actually represented in every chakra that we have. So, again, it's continuous.
Yeah, it says that the blockage for that is feeling unworthy. So
yes,
if you lack confidence and you have an issue setting boundaries, that's when you have to do some self-healing in your worthiness and your expectations.
That's the same reflection how the earth works with your body. So, lack of confidence, you're going to look down, you're going to have your shoulders down because you're shy from the world. You don't want to make eye contact with nobody because of your insecurities. So now you get in touch with the stone. The stone, what it actually does is give you confidence. So with that confidence, it actually builds your body, builds you a better spine. Mm-hmm. It builds you a better posture. Your shoulders are back. Your chin is up. You know what I'm saying? So that right there shows you how the earth is in line with your actual person. If I eliminate that or doesn't want to have any concern with that, I will continue on for the rest of my life like this and walk around, have my head down. Now someone sit there and gave you some tools to actually give you confidence, to give you energy. Because if you're down, your emotion takes away energy. Like everything that goes in your mind takes away energy from your body.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? If you're happy, if you're sad, if you're disappointed, if you're irritated, it takes energy from your body. It's like, you ever got left from work and you got a physical job and then you were just tired and drained. But once you got home, you felt that energy boost. Mm-hmm. That energy boost comes from your mental energy. It's not your physical, with your mental energy, supersedes your physical energy. It's just like, damn, I got home and I feel like refreshing. Now
I got my second wind.
Right, yeah, you feel me? It was a mental thing. It wasn't nothing physical that you did. It ain't like you took an energy drink. It ain't like you took a pill or whatever, this and that. It's that your mind suppressed everything from work, and now your mind is refreshed what's going on in your household. You know what I'm saying?
And I'm telling you, and so once you have the issue of security resolved, and then you have the issue of your sacral chakra, how intimate you're able to be, and you build from there. You build your confidence and your boundaries. From there, you go to your heart chakra, right? And this is how you and the heart chakra is important because it connects the lower half to the upper half of your system or body. Essentially, it connects the lower chakras to the upper chakras. Essentially, the upper chakras are mostly dealing in enlightenment and thinking and those types of aspects, and the lower chakras, as you heard, are really physical attributes. How you going, where you gonna live, having sex, dealing with family. Those are the lower chakras, and so the heart chakra is what synthesizes and brings the two together. And one of the blocks for the heart chakra, of course, is grief and loss. So you'll see people that's like, I'm never gonna love again, and my heart is closed, and that's based on grief and loss that they've experienced, and that doesn't necessarily mean a person or somebody died, so to speak, but loss and grief, you have grief and loss over all types of things, traumatic things that occur in your life.
What chakra rock should you use to help you with that?
Okay, so with the heart chakra, you can use green stones for one. The color associated with the heart chakra is green. But yeah, actually that's a pyrite, and that you spoke on prosperity and abundance, and that's what that deals with.
But they spoke on, when I did my reading, like some readings said they talk about the heart with this.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah.
So, it's associated with that too.
Yeah, but like prosperity, that was the one thing that sold me when I got this. This was like
no, that's one of my favorite stones.
Yeah, that's what everybody say. This is like one of the more popular stones.
Yeah.
But I didn't even know that when I went and got it. It was just when I was reading on it when I was in the store, they were sitting explaining all the effects that it has with this. You know what I'm saying? Like, it became my favorite stone. And then when I was doing reading, it was just like, this is one of the popular,
it's powerful,
stones.
Yeah. But also you can use the one of the most popular heart chakra stones is the rose quartz. which is a pink stone.
I got that. It was
Oh,
in a
wow.
ring, and the
How did
ring
it work for
actually,
you?
Excellent.
Man, I
got a
think
bunch of raw crystals upstairs. I want to bring them down here, and y'all can tell me what the hell they is.
Absolutely.
that you said rose quartz.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness! So
Yes.
that is like
I
the
know I got
first
rose
crystal
quartz as
I ever
well, but I
bought,
got-
just a raw, like a stone. And I didn't buy another stone for a long time. I think that it wreaked havoc on my life.
It will open your
I think
heart up.
so, because and I still don't have one because it's a love stone. It draws love to you and it opens your heart up. But for me, it started clearing out everything, like anything that's not right. You know what I mean? It starts clearing your life out, like friends that you know that ain't about nothing, but you're still your friend. You know, it's like now they're not your friend no more. And so from I just associated a lot of events like that with that rose quartz I had. I was like, no, I'm not ready for this.
Why not?
Because I wasn't ready. I really wasn't
It
ready.
actually
at the
helped you
time.
expose friends that wasn't good for you.
Just a sequence of events would occur, and maybe I would move. Or, we lost contact and things like that.
Well, it was probably a good thing that you did lose contact with those people. Is what you fail to
like
realize.
little boyfriends I might have liked. It's like, nah.
Oh yeah, come on, because you know that.
The thing is it deals with heart healing, so it focuses on self love first before the bigger picture of love.
Yeah,
So it took you right on in to like work on yourself. So then you stopped attracting those people that benefited from that lower state of your heart not being healed. So once you start loving yourself more, okay, we not on the same frequency, and it's gonna just die off.
Right, because I wasn't. This is before I worked on my root chakra. I was already had a rose quartz, so I was really in a bad place.
But you have to understand, it's like, you looking at the love that you give versus, focusing on the love being reciprocated. So then the love that you give, a lot of people fall victim to, I felt good giving love to this person. And then the buck stopped there. Versus you didn't focus on was the love being reciprocated. You know what I'm saying? Energy is a two-way street. It's like, understand that probably helped you from draining yourself from all your love, that when you do reach a person, that you're able to give it to a person that's going to reciprocate it. So it actually was a good thing, and should have held on to it.
Because I wasn't having nothing after that. I was like, I was all nose. I was all nose with that stone. Everything was nose.
We so victim of that first attraction. We hold on to it like a drug. You know what I'm saying? Like the first time I took a shot, the first time I hit the weed, you know what I'm saying? So every time after that, I want that same experience. And that's what we fall victim in relationships. Is like, man. But now, when I started learning about the stones, it was just like, you know what? I have all this energy to give, and I want to be around people that reciprocates that energy. You know what I'm saying? And if a person is genuine about giving out energy, if I present to you how I give out energy and what my plan on as far as myself, as far as energy, if you don't tap in. If you're not, you know what I'm saying, ready to exchange or open-minded about it, then now here go my stone working, telling me, you know what, I need to stand up off you. You know what I'm saying? I need to push back up off you, because right now, to show me the signs, it's not going to be reciprocated. You know what I'm saying? Because plenty of times you've been around friends, family, and they drain all the energy out of you.
Yeah,
but
you
being
so
a good
tired.
person, the type of person you are, you love giving it, and then you actually enjoyed it until it got to a point like, now I'm starting to feel the drain. Because it's not
you'll give yourself to people to the point where you ain't got nothing for yourself no more, right? And then when you need to reach out, and it ain't because you don't want to. Sometimes it's just because I'm out of it.
I'm out of it.
Whether it be time, whether it be money, whatever, energy, whatever. You know what I'm saying? And then you can't reach out to nobody to give it back. You know what I'm saying? Nobody can replenish you of that energy. Nobody can replenish you of that time.
You ever felt drained just from thinking about a person?
Oh yeah.
Oh.
You were like, damn, I'm drained just thinking about a person, not so much doing
now
for a person.
You talked about how when you be at work, right, and then you feel this drain, and then when you get home you feel energized, right? But how about the reverse of that? How about when you get to the crib and you sitting in the house, sit in the driveway for 30 minutes because you don't want to go in the house.
Oh Lord.
Because they about to suck the energy out.
The same, You already can feel it coming. You already know what's coming and shit.
I've been through that so many times, times. And it was just like, how do I restructure this? You know what I'm saying?
And
that,
so
you have so many attempts. Like, let me go in here with a good attitude. What's up, everybody? How everybody doing?
Fall flat.
Yeah.
Fall flat.
Yeah.
But that takes us to the next chakra, which is the throat chakra, right? I mean, you're talking about not being able to fully, you go into the house and it's going to be hell. And you can't really say nothing. You can't say nothing without it being an argument or more conflict, or you just got to deal with it, essentially. And that almost comes down to the throat chakra and your inability to your inability to kind of speak up for yourself, right? And I mean, and a lot of people think this throat chakra is only about speaking. It's also, I wouldn't say controls, but it also has an influence on your listening skills as well, right? And your uniqueness, because everybody has a unique voice, right? And so
comprehending and understanding,
right? So that's all the throat chakra. Your ability to you can meet people that can talk really well, but can't listen to nothing. You know what I mean? Won't listen to anything. Won't listen to anything.
Communication ain't nothing if the comprehension ain't there. They're not they ain't picking up what you're putting down, and they don't what you can be. You talking to a brick wall, might as well be.
A lot of people
let me just finish this up. Yeah. And so, with the throat chakra, what limits and blocks that is a lack of self-acceptance. So it's something within yourself. You're not, the good, the bad, the ugly. You gotta accept your whole self in order to really speak authoritatively in terms of you. This is what I'm gonna do, and this is what I'm gonna accept, and this is about me. I good or bad, like it or not. This is what I'm doing. That's what the throat chakra is all about. Having that type of disposition, and and being able to project that type of disposition.
Absolutely.
I see you want to say something.
Oh, I was just waiting on.
We're gonna come back to you.
So, the throat chakra, of course, is located at the throat. It's associated with the color blue. So, as she said, it deals with communication, with listening, with speaking, with owning your higher truth.
Speaking on this one?
Yes.
This is my second favorite. I keep this in my wallet.
Good.
That blue.
It deals with accepting your higher truth, speaking in your uniqueness, again, listening. It also deals with how you talk to yourself. And that's a real big key. I get that a lot with my Reiki clients. A lot of people have a lot of negative self-talk, and that's what blocks their throat chakras. So you have to be very conscious, and every chakra is about awareness. So I do want to point that out. It's all about self-awareness and knowing yourself, having that knowledge of self. But yes, always speaking. It could go back down to childhood, or maybe some type of trauma where you may have, maybe it wasn't heard, by certain people, and you start holding yourself back, and that will be like a residual, like that chakra will clog up more and more as you continue to go. So it does take conscious work to do so, but just speaking freely. Yeah,
what I learned is I had to start talking to myself more assertive. Because we'll tend to try to sugarcoat talking to ourselves because we know our triggers when it comes to our feelings and our emotions. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, look, okay, I already know when I say this to myself, this is going to trigger this emotion, it's going to trigger this feelings, but I need those feelings and emotions to come out to manage those. You know what I'm saying? Because we'll suppress those and reluctantly speak on them to ourselves. So when we talk about the throat, sitting there talking to ourselves.
Speaking of, I want to give a shout out to the Kings, because last week I had a little mishap where I lit my throat chakra. I spoke on something that was bothering me, which was my appearance and my postpartum body. And the Kings came through and just lifted me up so gracefully. So I just want to give y'all a shout out. Thank y'all. Okay, well, yes, go ahead.
I mean, that just goes in the balance of all of us. You know what I'm saying? We should always pick each other up. You know what I'm saying? And we do it genuinely. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people will pick other people up just for acknowledgement. Versus I pick people up.
Giving people the credit that they really deserve.
Exactly.
That's immediately around them.
Right. Because I don't sit there and see that I'm entitled to any credit, because how we are designed, we're designed as social people. You know what I'm saying? We are designed to lift people up. You know what I'm saying? I'm not the creator. The creator created me to lift people up, so I'm just a tool. So it's not like, I helped this person up, now I want to acknowledge myself.
But you're just acknowledging someone's you know, the good thing about someone, right? They may be having whatever kind of day, and that may help to lift them up. Or sometimes that may be something that they don't even realize within themselves that they possess. You know what I mean? So
I truly believe in giving people their flowers in the moment.
Say that again.
I believe in giving people their flowers in the moment.
In the moment,
Yes,
absolutely,
in the moment.
absolutely. And it's like, if I can uplift a person, right, and I see how they used it, you know what I'm saying? Now that's a teaching for me. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm learning how to uplift myself to how I can sit there and receive someone else uplifting me. Because how many times does someone speak to you and try to uplift you and it didn't work? But you see how this person used it. You know, I'm taking notes. You see I couldn't do that. You know, somebody else tried that on me and I couldn't do that.
Yeah.
You know, so when I'm sitting there reading everything about the chakras and the energy and what all its purpose it is, it's like now I'm writing down this, I'm taking notes of this, is like I'm actually applying it. You know, we can have all the knowledge in the world and it means nothing without application.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
That's a segue.
And speaking on the in terms of the throat chakras, in all these chakras, you can have chakras blocked for years, right? You can be in a
Or define
state,
chakra block.
for a chakra block.
Yeah.
It's something that's hindering the energy flow through your system, because all the energy has to flow like a river, right? So when you have blockages, it's, you know, just like if you have a blockage in the river, you're gonna have backups. It's gonna create all problems in other areas.
And how do we unblock them?
So we talking about that.
No, I was just trying to get a general statement from you, just like how we block it. It's like, you know, we use the tools of what we learned.
Of course, you use the
You know
tools.
what
I
I'm
mean, if we specifically speaking, you have meditation, you have mindfulness, you have stones, you have herbs that you can take, things you can, you know,
Frequencies too. I meant to add that.
sound,
The
sound,
vibration,
oh my goodness.
the vibration,
Binaural beats is very good. So.
The sound therapy it works really well.
Absolutely.
And
when I seen the Tina Turner movie, right? I ain't have a clue which they was talking about when she was making her transformation in the chakra rocks and the meditation.
And the
I ain't have a clue what they, you know, that part in the movie. I'm just sitting there, okay, something helped her out, get over what she was going through, right? But when I started learning it, and it was just like, I would say a wild time afterwards, and it did something just triggered in my mind, like, this everything what Tina and her friend was sitting there talking about the whole time. You know what I'm saying? But at that time when I was watching the movie, I never
nobody did.
looked into it. It was just like, I was just like, yeah, okay, you going through this and like just like, you know.
And chanting is also a tool that you can
Absolutely,
use for
absolutely. You know, because that actually sets into your subconscious mind.
Yeah, affirmations, all these
And cause
things.
and effect too.
Yeah,
That's what the chant that she would do. She would do the Nam-myoho Renge-kyo. And that deals with cause and effect. So
and I said,
comes right back
I said
to
one
you.
day I'm gonna learn that.
It's very powerful.
Yeah.
Yes, very, very powerful.
Looking at her success,
Yeah.
I believe it. You know what I'm saying? Just listening to her, not listening to the media what they say, but actually listening to her interviews and actually how she speaks on it, like how Jamie is like, that has like an impact. Like, you know, you speaking on it, it's like, this was nothing forced upon me. This wasn't nothing that I was promoting, because she never promoted it. It was just one thing in the movie that she spoke on. You know what I'm saying? But now you look at how happy she is. Matter of fact, look at her age. Look how she looks. You know what I'm saying? How happy she is, how satisfied she is with life. It's like, that should have an impact on all of us from where she done came from, and something that was wrong to her out of the blue because her friend was going through something similar situation. So I'm like, then when I thought about that, it's like, I'm going to start doing reading more often. You know what I'm saying, with this.
And so from the throat chakra, and that's a good point, because Tina started making a chant, right? And then she excelled, or she ascended progressed to the third eye chakra, right, where she's concerned, you know, she's putting her intelligence and her intuition together. She's manifesting at that point, and that is the sixth chakra, the third eye chakra. And we can talk, that can be a whole conversation with the pineal gland and all that kind of stuff. We're just going to talk about the basics of the third eye. We're just going to talk about the basics of the third eye chakra. One thing that the third eye chakra also, it kind of influences your ability to perceive or how you perceive reality. That is a huge thing with your third eye, because you can see what you want to see, but what it is what it is. And you have some people that's like they feet not on the ground. They're not grounded. They don't live in reality. They live in a fantasy world almost. That's a blockage of the third eye. They're not able to actually perceive reality in the present moment as it is. Not thinking in the future, not thinking about the past, but actually perceive reality as it is. That is a reflection of a third eye blockage.
How I see the third eye is what we do in this instance, right? And how it multiplies and affects everything around you further than your eye can see. If I sit there and be like, like when you speak on last week where you was just like, yeah, I was feeling a little down on myself, you know what I'm saying, because of this and that. Because first of all, having a child is a blessing. You know what I'm saying?
Indeed.
So you should look at everything a part of your body was a blessing.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? But at the same time is that, we sit there and said something to you, right? And it brought your spirits up, right? We done walked away, ain't seen you again, but now you done sit there and spoke to another person and used that same example to bring light to them. That's the third eye. Like, understand that what you do right now,
insight.
How it's a rippling effect and a trickle down effect that it's like everyone question God, question Jesus, whatever your higher belief is, this and that. He has a reason for everything that you do. Like, granted, selfishly, this child's gone and all that, this and that. But at that hospital, do you know how many people that affected at that time? People that went home and cherished what they got. You know what I'm saying? So it's things that he does that we might look at as like awful and all that, this and that. We can watch the news and see this.
So much bad stuff.
You know what I'm saying? So much bad stuff. But that's a negative that will turn into a positive. You know what I'm saying? That might trigger to somebody. You know what? We got to do something about this to prevent it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, if it helped one person, it's doing the job.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because then it helped that one person.
They can help
now, how many people did that one person help? How, you know what I'm saying, awesome design it is. Where it's like, we look at the whole earth as the design. And how the earth reflects us and how we reflect the earth. So when we go into these stones was put here for a purpose.
What stone is good for the third eye chakra?
The third eye chakra, you can
What
use
color?
well, personally I like to use the clear quartz or the amethyst.
I love amethyst.
Yeah, the amethyst deals with your higher self, dealing with connecting to your spiritual guides and your intuition. Or a clear quartz just to give you clear vision, to completely clear the vision there. The third eye chakra again is located at the center of your forehead. It's also connected to the pineal gland, or they call it the third eye, but it's also known as the first eye, because this is the eye you actually see with before your physical eyes. Referenced in the Bible, when in the Bible it says, "Let thine eye be single." They speak about the third eye. But this is dealing with seeing the bigger picture view, so this is tapping into seeing things outside of ego, so connecting to the collective consciousness, but also opening up spiritual gifts. So you do see things that are not in the physical reality because of the third eye being open. But there's levels to it.
Yeah.
You'll have people in fantasy world, but then you'll have people who truly see in the spiritual world
Fifth
and
dimensional thinking.
these different, and higher, So like,
and one of the blockage, I'm going to talk about the blockage. I won't say too much, but the blockage for the third eye is your inability to trust yourself. So you have to trust yourself that no matter what may come, you're going to be good, right? And so you in that way you can live in reality. You can live in the present moment. You can enjoy the moment, and at the time you're not worried about this or worried about that. You have a clear mind, and you're able to have a clear mind with self-trust. So if you're having issues with the third eye, your perceptions, you're being grounded, there's something that you can work on, is really trusting yourself and what you know. You got to know what you know, and from there, you become more able to receive new information and use that information, because again, this is about your intelligence and intuition working together.
Absolutely. That's why I asked you to define blockage, so people that's not familiar with it to understand it when they do start to learn about it, to understand how to accept it. You know what I'm saying? You could be like, oh yeah, it's blockage this and blockage that, but if it's not defined, if they don't understand what blockage means, they ain't gonna learn how to accept it. So
you gotta you gotta be real with yourself, because if you living in a fantasy world, you gotta check yourself. You know, like, okay, I'm thinking too far off what's happening right now. You know, and we all want to plan the future and manifest and all that, but at the same time, we have to still, you know, it's what we do today that's gonna bring those things to pass. It's not thinking about what's gonna happen in the future. It's what we do today that's gonna create that future.
How would you tell them how to escape the fantasy world and actually use the chakras, crystals, and stones to escape from the fantasy world and actually use it for self?
I'm gonna let Osa take that one.
I mean, like you said, it's being real with yourself. A lot of people, because they're so detached.
What would
from
you say?
stuff,
What would you say will be the tools that you have to use to be real with yourself?
Self-awareness,
a desire. You gotta want to.
Yeah.
Some people don't want it. Some people don't want to know they fucked up.
You got to be able to take, criticism.
Yes.
Constructive criticism.
Right. Why I asked that question is to get out of the fantasy world. First step is accountability. Then the second step, what you said, is criticism. You know, so where it's like, okay, I use those two steps, and now I'm allowing those stones to work for me. You know what I'm saying? If I can't take accountability, the stones is not going to work for me. Now, granted, in other areas, they're going to work, you know what I'm saying? Because it's going to allow you to block energy from other people. And like she said, it was just like, it was blocking me from people, but I still desire those people. You know what I'm saying? But then it goes to the third thing y'all said, self-awareness. Now, when I got self-awareness of myself, let me allow these stones to block these people, because I know which lane that I'm going.
Yeah, you get real.
I'm using
you
it.
Get real,
right?
Get
real,
like,
right. I took accountability. I started taking criticism. You know what I'm saying? And now I have awareness of myself. And now when these stones explaining to me what they'll do for me, do your thing. You know what I'm saying? And that's how I came to terms with it. It was just like, I'm going to allow these stones to do its thing. It's like, if I got around me and I started seeing people getting eliminated around me, I got trust in it.
Well, there we go. There goes chakra number 7, the crown chakra, and that's all about faith, right? That's all about faith and wisdom. You get, that's what you're aspiring to, is that faith that's gonna keep you going, in a higher powers, identifying with that, following that, chasing that. That's a lifelong journey to follow your faith. And so that's the crown chakra. When you operate in the crown chakra, it's, you operating on faith. In all religions, all philosophies, all teach believing in that thing, right? Whatever it may be, is the faith of it, and that's your crown chakra working.
I have more faith into what earth gives me than what man gives me. You know what I'm saying? It's like, there's no trickery in this. This stone was put on this earth for a reason by the higher power. So it's not like you have to persuade me. You know what I'm saying? Common sense tell me that this stone is here for a reason. So if it's here for a reason, let me take full advantage for what it was placed here for me. Versus somebody sitting there trying to tell me, oh no, you need to talk like this. You need to wear this, and that. No, this right here is going to lead me in the right direction.
And so a blockage from your crown chakra would be a disconnect. You're disconnected. You're not acknowledging any higher power, any type of source. You pessimistic. You're disconnected. You don't believe in anything. Woe is me. You got all these types of ideas in your head.
I know people that sound like they got blocks of all of the chakras.
We got to take work.
When you're describing them, I'm like, people that's popping up like, man, this sounds like this, like, whoa. Makes sense though. That's what I'm saying. It makes sense.
And so we're gonna wrap. But go ahead.
Before we go, what was the biggest? Well, all of us will share it. Like, what's the biggest effect that the chakra stones have had in your life?
I mean, again, they resonate with energy, so each one of them is personal. but I do utilize them for whatever need or whatever I'm working on with. And that's dealing with shadow work or just, sitting with self and self-reflection. If I'm in need of a certain energy and I'm working on a certain aspect of my life, I would use the stone that's associated with that to help as a tool. As a tool or as an aid, to do so.
Assistance.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's
So it doesn't do the work, but it assists you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You gotta do the work, but here goes some assistance. Yeah,
Yes.
Absolutely.
For me, I think that working with the chakra system and stones and the tools of balancing my chakras, the biggest effect it has for me is what I'm always seeking so of course that's what I want to receive is peace of mind. I'm not worried, I'm not frustrated, I'm content to a certain degree. I'm content with the world, essentially, whatever may come. If it's the will of God. And so that's always my aspiration, to get to that point. Sometimes you move backwards, sometimes you're there, but that's always what that's always the goal I'm working to, is to get to that place of peaceful contentment within my life, in all in all areas, with my family, with my finances, with with coworkers. I'm always seeking peace in every area.
Okay.
And with that, I think we'll wrap up the show. We went over the 7 chakras and their blockages. Remedies for clearing blockages. Of course, it's going to take work, years of work, but you got to start somewhere. And we just thank you for tuning in with us tonight, and to all our viewers that'll watch it at a later time. We appreciate it. We thank you so much. And everybody else, say bye. Say bye.
Goodbye.
Peace.
Sign on. We're out of here.
Peace and love. Until next week.
Good night. Good day.
You are now tuned in to 7 Mile Radio.
Production.